We are back at the CWL Global Pro League Stage 1 playoffs. We've seen 2 elimination matches today from the losers bracket, but now it's time to shift our focus in prime time for the winners bracket side. We have 2 matches to bring you today. The first one going down here between our only European squad and the dark horse from North America. Ladies and gentlemen, prime time starts now. It's Splyce versus E6.
We have the best Call of Duty teams from around the world competing.
The energy is going to be insane, all setting the stage for what's going to be a lot of major Call of Duty.
And now it's the time for the big boys, right? The top 8 teams battling for that $500,000.
There we have it. We have our 8 teams for the playoffs. Absolutely crazy. The best in the world are here to compete on North American soil.
This is big. The Global Pro League is on the line.
The LAN League is pretty much everything. That's going to be the season for everyone.
Every year there's only been one thing to play for, but now the LAN League is everything this year, to be honest.
If we don't make the LAN League, it's like, dude, what are we doing?
A one-man army right there.
Sometimes it seems like people forget about him.
Burn and burn with the slide beginning to heat up for his team.
The nasty 2-piece is gonna lock this.
You're so cocky, but he's able to win. You can all about the gaming. He'll put the point in and get the kill.
He's gonna put it in for a 3-point going for the 8.
But guess what? I'm still here. Give me 9. 4 streak.
This is the opening they needed.
Oh my God!
And this is it, Jack.
Welcome back to the Stage 1 playoffs of the Call of Duty Global Pro League. It's MLG Prime Time, and up next we have our 2 winners bracket semi-finals. We're kicking things off, of course, with Splyce versus Enigma6 up on the main stage. Throughout the weekend, Aix has been very vocal. He believes in the success of Splyce. And Merc, you're Team Europe as well.
I'm European this week.
What is it that gives you so much confidence about the Splyce squad?
We've talked about so long, you know, what will it take for Europe? What roster do they have to put together? And we talked early on about Splyce with Josh, but I think they picked up Zero, and you have probably the 4 talented players in Europe. I mean, if there's any team that's going to do it, that's finally going to sort of break that ceiling, it's this team. And they have to keep getting better, and we showed that in sort of Stage 1. I just think they have a great sort of bracket run where they can easily get into the finals.
On the flip side, of course, Enigma6, they impressed us quite a lot, to be completely honest with you, in their group stages. And then, of course, they come out here, they beat United as well, Teep. I mean, how far can these guys go? Is it crazy that they have a great chance here of maybe making it to the winners bracket final?
We haven't really seen this, all 4 players on E6 performing in quite a while now, probably years. And the fact that they're able to do it, you know, Emery's is really the one that was sticking out to me as sort of the weakest player on this team, but he performed so well yesterday in that win over E United. So if they can do that again, Splyce needs to be careful.
Proofy, throughout your career, you were kind of referred to as maybe one of the best shots in the game for a very, very long time in terms of your assault rifle. General has just showed he has the snapper. This guy's been playing well.
Snapper. There's only one other person that I know has a snapper like that, and it's Scump. And when I played General, I played like 50 1v1s versus General on AW. I won 0. I messed with his controller. I tried to slap it out of his hand. I tried to do whatever. I'd host. It didn't work. I couldn't beat him in a 1v1. So if General is playing his game that I know he can play, he's going to be a force to reckon with for Splyce.
I think General was just listening in there. He's like, yeah.
Is he? I love you, General.
That was I did that to Proof. I did that to you. But in terms of his playstyle, though, Merc, he has been playing phenomenal. But he does need a little bit of support from the rest of the cast.
Well, absolutely, and that's what we talked about yesterday. There was a game retaliation hardpoint. He performed the worst. I mean, and that's when we said that before, and I think that just takes a lot of pressure off him when those other 3 step up. You know, that makes him feel good because there's not that pressure of, I have to drop so many kills or we lose, and that just sort of alleviates a lot of pressure from him.
Of course, here's a look at our map set for this one. Teep, I'm going to go to you. Of course, we're looking at that uplink, and we think maybe, what, the two best uplink teams in the game going at it on the main stage?
Two of the best for sure. Yes, E6 struggled a bit in their uplink yesterday, but it was against E United. I think this uplink's going to be one of the decider maps. I think it's going to be 2 and 3 going to be the most important. Throwback, though, I'm full Splyce on that one. I think they're just going to completely take over. They realize how big this match is for top 3.
Absolutely, and throwback hardpoint is just it's the fastest hardpoint. It's run and gun style, and if Splyce is shooting the way we know they can, it's going to be very hard to stop them because all 4 of them can go off at any point. So again, you're going to look at Proto in general. They have to keep playing big. You're going to look at Cade and Ruiz. Can they step it up, continue what they did yesterday?
Well, excited to get this first match of MLG Primetime underway. Splyce versus Enigma6, map 1, ready to go. We can send it down to our casters for this one. It's Bucket and Momo.
Thank you so much, fellas. It is time to party. There is a look at Splyce, Bance, and Zero getting ready for their first hard point. And on the other side of the stage, we have a very tough Enigma6 squad. Now, Enigma6, they beat United. They kind of caused the first massive upset that everyone saw on day number 1. United now in the losers bracket staying alive. We'll see them potentially match up against Optic later in this tournament. But a lot of people are shocked to see Enigma6 beating United in their best game mode hardpoint.
Yeah, E6 have really turned up this event. I put them down there alongside EG as that 7th, 8th team. They've turned up, they've showed what they can do, and taking down United in that first initial, winner bracket, it's so big for them. It gives them so much confidence. They have to play one game, they go back to the hotel, they talk about it, good vibes all round, and they come back, and I actually think they'll be thinking, this is a European squad. Splyce, they're a force to be reckoned with, but this is no easy game for either team here. Splyce cannot underestimate E6 and vice versa. For me, though, I gave a little prep talk to Zero. I said, you've got to start strong. I was honest with them. I said, your hard point, you start weak sometimes. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen.
Can't do it again. So we'll keep our eyes on Zero. There's a look at Jerd, one of the oldest veterans from the UK, still playing today. And, as the resident European expert here, give me the official prediction here. How is Splyce going to win?
I think this goes a minimum game 4, but I think we're going all the way. I think this is a game 5. I do agree with the boys on the desk, though. I think hard point, it goes in favor of Splyce. I think Splyce, they could lose their first S&D. I think we got a game 5 on our hands by all means, but keep your eyes on individuals such as Jerd. We've talked about General as well. But going into throwback hard point, this is where I think Zero, he needs to step it up. He needs to start strong. But on the flip side of things, E6, General, he has to have support. It can't be a one-man army. Repeat yesterday, and I think E6 could be very, very good.
Can't wait to see this first game kicking off. Hardpoint on throwback. This has been such a great map on day number 2. You just saw how close it was between Optic and Envy. This, for me, it's a toss-up. I don't know how this is going to go down. I'd love to see how Zero opens things up, but we're going to start here with Bance. And Bance, he was on this Splyce squad back when they finished runners-up at the end of 2016 at the Call of Duty Championship. He's retooled this squad, and we'll see what they can do here. Off the gut, you're going to see it's Jerd with the opening 2-piece. Bance is early on a flank. They just want top window control.
Yeah, they want control. It's not necessarily all about the points here. Straight away, if you're playing throwback hardpoint, you've got to be thinking of that second rotation towards Barn. But right now, Bance jumping on the hill. He's got a couple of, in fact, he's got 1 kill to his name. He's getting a couple of points to go. And the interesting fact about this is the win and loss from Optic Envy, it was actually decided the biggest difference was on this middle platform hill. So straight away, Splyce are going to hit those double digits, but cash your eyes to the top left. Enigma6, they're setting up here for that next rotation.
Tie score as of now, but that will quickly change. Bance with the 2-piece breaks through the center. Cade is still up top, and you're going to see Mad Cat challenging. Enigma6 is set up for the barn, though, and it's going to be tough for Splyce to break through. You see player number 1 on your mini-map. That's Bance going all the way across the field. He's going to try and hit at the same time that his 3 teammates will be flooding from the front. Tries to get the pinch, but Cade is there. And now General is picked from the back line as the push comes from Jerd. Jerd gets through the window and will clear out the barn. Ruiz trading out kills, and at the end of it all, it is Splyce coming out on top. Nice push there from Splyce, but the reinforcements all just respawned all around the barn.
Absolutely, Ruiz there got given a perfect spawn. Jerd does take him down, and Mad Cat joining the party, but it does go in favor of Enigma6. Again, this battle back and forth, this could be the difference here. Barn is such an influential hill, but you can see Enigma6 have full control right now. We'll be moving over to the bike path very, very shortly, but Enigma6, they're holding strong here.
Proto was on a bit of a streak, but no score streaks for him. He's cut down. On board with Cade, who's kind of been the X factor for me. When Cade's playing well, Enigma6 walks away with wins. You know Proto's going to stay consistent. General has been one of their best players throughout all of group stages. And M. Ruiz was a rock star on day number 1. So Enigma6 is definitely going to be a threat. But for me, the most pressure is going to be on Cade's shoulders.
Absolutely. And some of these names you guys at home may be a little bit new to. But by the end of these playoffs, you will know these guys. Cade, Proto, M. Ruiz in general. They are a force to be reckoned with. And Enigma6, they want nothing but first. Proto picks up a nice 2-piece. And again, it's that battle for the bike path. Close game, though, so far here, Puckett.
And 6th streak now for 0, 9-4, working towards these streaks. Scorchers are just 50 points away. And then he'll have the bombardment. Just a kill and a half. And there you see it. It's all locked in. The single kill gives him all 3 streaks. He drops down. 0 going off here. And this is going to be huge. You talked about how he needs to have a huge start. You got it right now.
Yeah, no slow start for 0. He's coming into day 2 ready, and he's winning that championship. They know how much it means to themselves, but to represent Europe, the only team here, is very, very big for them. At the moment, though, they are trailing in points, but those score streaks, you're going to be looking to see them used around the baseball field. Enigma6, they're backing off. They're trying to get that rotation. They will, but Splyce, they have a few things up there. Their sleeves. Yeah, up their sleeves to rain fire down. And that's going to happen right now. We can see the bombardment. That's coming in.
0 back on your screen as it's Enigma6 set up. Jerd is going to be the first one on attack. Gets a pick somehow. 0's got his back. Proto is going to be cut off. But there's still General in the back line. No one saw him. Just hit, just like we saw Karma doing against Envy. Staying up as the last man, unfortunately, unlike Karma. General, a little too aggressive, gets punished. But it's going back and forth, everyone flooding into the hill. The last man standing at the end of it all is 0, killing Jerd on his way.
Yeah, he's taking down everyone right now. He's still got the Scorches available. He's actually close to another Trinity Rocket. He's going to get taken down for that one, but starting very, very strong is 0. The crazy thing is, though, we're still stuck at 65-65, and there's been so much contention going on. We're going to go back to the middle. We'll see how this one separates this, but at the moment, Splyce, they go into the second rotation with a 10-point lead.
10 points, not that big. After a full round of rotations, you're going to see it back to the center of the map as the players are working the perimeter. It's Jerd finding Proto, now looking for more, and up top, he's going to take down M. Ruiz. So all 4 yellow arrows in position. They're setting up now. Jerd is going to watch these top stairs. You had Mad Cat down low, watching the flank, and with Mad Cat falling, Jerd knows not only does he have to get the kill on stairs, he's now got to cover his teammate's position, and Jerd is doing exactly that. A 5 streak, 15-11, while you have 0 at 17-11. These 2 players are going in.
I question the Scarab sometimes, but he's used to it there. He does get on the hill. He's doing something for his team whilst he's in that Scarab, and you know what? 0's back beautifully, and Jerd continues the dominance. That's 65-65. Look at this score, ladies and gentlemen. That middle hill has all been Splyce.
I can't tell who's screaming in the background. Is that Marty, the Splyce owner, or is that 0 on the main stage? Somebody's getting loud here in the venue. 0 finding M. Ruiz once again. Gonna drop down, trying to help reinforce this barn. 2 more attackers, though. Enigma6 will break through. Proto going back to that E-Rad. It pays dividends, and M. Ruiz will lock down some points. 45 points remain here in the barn, and Mad Cat trying to set up a flank will be leading the way on this next Splyce push.
Such a solid player, Mad Cat here, just doing what he needs to do. 13-11 as it stands, but all 3 players going down. What can he make of this? Not going to happen. Enigma6 with a clean sweep, and they're going to reset Splyce all the way over at blue. This is a good start for them, and barn, it's a hill which you can dominate for 40-50 seconds, but Splyce have other ideas. 0 through the front, Jerd round the back, and now Enigma6, they're going to be under pressure. The numerical disadvantage, but General, once again, we saw it at the baseball field picking up a big double. He's done the same now, but we do see Jerd and the boys of Splyce take control of barn for the last 10 seconds.
And now Splyce is trying to pull away. They're building up their biggest lead of the game so far, up by 30 and counting. Proto doing what Proto does best, plays so annoyingly, and you saw the injured Jerd just gets melted at range by the E-Rad. Big double kill there for Proto. Down low, though, it's Splyce set up on the hill. So even though Enigma6 is in position, Splyce just overpowering them in the middle of the map.
One thing to note here as well, 0 using that reactive armor. Bance has got active camo. They've talked about it before the playoffs. 0 came over, he's like, I've been demoted to this reactive armor. Bance has taken control of it, but they've had the talks internally. It's working better for them. We'll keep our eyes out on how 0 and Bance use that. But at the moment, Splyce still in control, 25 seconds, and Mad Cat and 0 trading things out.
Now, Proto Proto has a camo as well. We should point that out. Cade has his payload available. And we'll see when does Enigma6 choose to use theirs, because if they lose control of baseball, which they've been setting up, trying to control the spawns for this whole bike path, I think you need to do something desperate. You can't let this Splyce team run away with game number 1. In first, it's going to be Enigma6, all 4 blue arrows, set up on the right side of your map. Meanwhile, you're going to see one by one. They're getting picked at the bottom first. It's General to fall. Ruiz staying alive for now, but there's so much pressure. Rocket's coming down from 0, but he's only able to pick up Proto. Fortunately, his teammates do it with the guns, and all 4 are down. Enigma6 off spawn, Splyce setting up.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Madcat has a Centurion as well to go down. Actually hidden a bit of a late flank coming right behind 2 of them. But Proto and Cade, they're playing phenomenal so far. And again, the trades go down. This time, Enigma6 should take control of the baseball field. They will do. And there's 25 seconds here. We could see another tie game going into rotation number 3.
We talked about the payloads. Proto did burn his camo. Cade still has his payload, and Ruiz is about to unlock his. General, nasty 2 pieces on a 5 streak here. He's playing for streaks now, and really needs to stay alive. Even though there's a player in that hard point, he just needs to pick up 2 more kills. There's a player directly behind him. Proto's got his back. He's surviving. And at the end, it's Jerd cutting him short. No streaks to play with here for E6.
Yeah, and that was such an important kill. Not that they will know it in-game, but that stops him for streaks. It actually puts a bit of a timer on his reactive armor as well. But going into the 3rd rotation, Splyce, they have about a 20-25 point lead. But Enigma6, they seem to have found some fire from somewhere. You know, General on a 5 streak as well, and Ruiz and Cade, they have their payloads available. This could be a comeback right now.
And when you look at Enigma6, they've been setting up for the barn first each time. They have the Centurion now. That will be huge in the next hill. Jerd battling in the center, though, is going to find 2 players, looking for a 3rd. And it looks like Enigma6 is trying to stall him out, but Jerd's just coming out hunting. There's no one from E6 in position to trade. They're more worried about the spawns, and once again, Splyce will build up a healthy lead, leading by 25 points going into the barn, and actually it's going to be more than that. No one's even going to look at Jerd, who's just sitting pretty in that hard point.
This is the 3rd time Enigma6 has set up for the barn. They've got it every single time, but the scary thing is, reactives used by General there, but Splyce are about to have 4 payloads available. When they choose to use this, that is obviously questionable, but with a 30-40 point lead right now, they can just hold out. Zero is 34 and 24. He is absolutely gunning down Enigma6, but they are not going down without a fight. General should be holding this tight, but Splyce, they broke through again, Bucket.
We saw such an amazing series from Saints from Luminosity yesterday, but Zero is on pace to put his stats to shame. 35 and 25, working towards that 40 bomb. Jerd inside. When you have a player going off like that, the rest of the game gets easier for everyone else in the lobby. Bance, -10. How often do we see that? But it doesn't even matter. He still has the camo for these later hard points as well if it gets dire. And at this point, it looks like Enigma6 has no answer. One by one, they're running into crosshairs.
Yeah, and the storyline going into this was Enigma6 beat United on the hard points. What does this tell you? Is this Splyce just showing their dominance in this respawn game mode? I think so. They've got all their payloads to play with, and the scary thing is Zero is gunning, still at +10. For me, Cade and Ruiz, they need to step it up at the close quarter section.
Cade negative. He was our X factor coming into the hard point. Picks up the kill on Madcat. General blows himself up with a Scarab, so 2 down. Here comes Bance, though. Bance trading out. The bike path in control currently of Enigma6. They are down big. We're down to the final 27 points required for Splyce to take game number 1. They have to challenge every single hill if you're Enigma6.
That's a good start for Enigma6. They've got to get this 22 seconds and they've got to get that rotation, but you've got to look at the payloads from Splyce. This is Splyce's game to throw away right now. They have this almost in the bag, but with 25 seconds still to go, Enigma6 are definitely not out of it. Jerd's got his FTL use, and to be honest, he's by all means, for me, a top 3 player with that. The stuff he pulls out is kind of incredible. But going into this one, we'll have to wait and see.
Centurion is down, so Ruiz threw that down. You saw a very nice push by Cade. He cleared out a lot of the players over at baseball. Enigma6 did everything perfectly in the last minute. And now you're going to see these streaks coming down. The score streaks and payloads will all be used by Splyce.
Yeah, Bance just used his camo there, and that got burned instantly. I think it was by a teammate, but Jerd and Zero, they combine for the triple. They have control. There's one play behind, it's Cade. He does have a payload, but no, taken down by Zero, and now 15 seconds to go. These next gunfights could be crucial. Zero's used his reactive. He picks up one. Bance trades this out, and you know what? This could be the end, Puckett.
Jared's got the FTL jump to push forward if needed as well, but I think he's just going to sit back behind this cover and lay down some laser beams. Jared is going to fall. General and M. Ruiz coming through, and General on the back end causing problems. It's a 1v1, 0 going up against Proto here for the hardpoint control, and it looks like Proto's going to win this fight. They only need 3 points. Splyce battling inside his Jared, and that is going to do it. 250 to 212. All of Splyce reinforcing, 0 buying him some time. And the team just looked in a better position, winning the slaying battle. And you saw the teamwork coming in at the end.
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't know if someone, I told him, you know, don't have a slow start. I didn't think it'd have that effect on him. And by all means, I'm taking no credit. 0 was on fire.
You're a good coach,
that game. But, I mean, if it's that simple just to say 0, don't start slow. And you go, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Great start for 0 and the boys, but I will say, I think Enigma6, they all had their moments, but it was not the same Enigma6 against United where all 4 were firing on all cylinders. They need to get on the same page right now.
M. Ruiz was just going off in the hard points yesterday. Today, he's almost even, so he's very close. Cade was kind of the difference maker. Before he kind of lit up in the last minute and a half, he was -8, -10 at times. But I think we need to see Proto. We need to see a little bit more out of General as well. We saw him playing his life, but no one was stopping the points being scored by Splyce. Got to be a little bit more objective-minded moving forward.
I have to agree, and when you've got players hitting 75 interactions in a hard point, it's very tough to beat. It really, really is. But going into the next map, Search and Destroy, this is where, you know, I do worry for Splyce a little bit there. Search and Destroy has been so hit and miss. I'd like to think that they've got a little bit better on this and they've worked on their strategy. But I said yesterday, Splyce would have done their homework on EG. You know, they took them down, and it showed. They were playing different on Crusher. I don't think that they'll have looked into Enigma6 as much. I don't think they'll have expected to see Enigma6 in the semifinals, but we'll have to wait and see.
So talk to me a little bit about these Splyce guys. Jared, Madcat, the veterans. You got kind of the young upstarts in 0 and Bance now, who are the new bloods over in the UK. But is this a group that will look at footage and really game plan against their opponents? Because talking to them, they seem so lackadaisical. They're just like, yeah, we didn't really practice between our week 1 group stages and then playoffs. No one was really playing, so we've just been shooting bots.
I think that is definitely the case. In fact, they've had a little bit of lack of practice. I spoke to Madcat, and he was like, we scrimmed Millennium, we scrimmed Red Reserve a couple of times, but we've not had the practice we wanted. But I think that time that they've had, they have looked at VODs. Jared as well is in his post-game interview said, you know, we watched the back EG, and that's why we knew what they were going to do on Crusher. So Jared, for me, has really become kind of the father figure of this squad, and it's such a strange thing for me to personally look at. Like, I remember Jared picked him up. He was like a 17-year-old fresh-faced kid, like, into the scene. Same for Madcat. It was, you know, the youth. You know, these really loud, outspoken players who were just a little bit gobby sometimes, but now they've matured. They've turned into almost leaders.
I remember chubby Jared, pre-tattoos, looked like he was afraid to talk to ladies. Today, he is doing quite well for himself, especially in this series. 1-0, Jared going in hot in the hard point throwback, but it's 0 who stole the show. Search and Destroy, this is a totally different game mode, though, and we're going to breakout for game number 2. Let's talk a little bit about both of these teams, starting with Enigma6 and the Search and Destroys that they were winning. They won that game 5 against United to get in this position today. What were they doing well in that? What have you seen from this Enigma6 squad when it comes to Search?
Ironically enough, it's the exact same as Splyce. They've been sticking as a team, and I say this about Infinite Warfare. You've got to go round as a pack. You can't just split up and look for clues. You know, you've got to be able to trade out. That's the important thing about any game mode, but Search and Destroy in particular. When you've got 1 life, you need to be able to trade those kills efficiently, get that numerical advantage going into the later stages of the rounds in particular. And I think that's what both teams did so well. You know, Splyce, they don't leave each other's side. But Enigma6, it was good to see kind of Cade always going for those trades. Cade and M. Ruiz really work well together, I feel. But honestly, Enigma6, they've been teaming for a very long time. Changes here and there. But apart from that, we're going to go into this. And this is where I think Splyce may have a little bit more of a difficult time.
Here we go. First round of Search and Destroy. You've seen how fast it can be over at the A-bomb site. The ERAD's massive impact. at the short range. Over at the top of the map, you'll see a lot more long-range gunfights, and early on, it's Cade drawing first blood. Proto's gonna pick up the second and third kills coming in now from M. Ruiz, all 4 dropping just like that.
Yeah, Splyce walked into almost a trap. They got pinched in, nowhere to go. And as you can see here, they were all over that loading bay area, nowhere to go, and perfectly pinched there, coming in from Enigma6. Now they'll be on the attack. I'm really interested to see how Enigma6 play this on the offense. You know, are they a team that just bombards that loading bay like a lot of teams do, or do they strategically go to B, play a little bit of a slower round?
It looks like this is a B push through and through. All 4 members stacked up and pushing together. General probably going to be the first one setting up with the NV4 looking for the pick. You got M. Ruiz playing aggressive with Cade, though. You see the wall run coming through. The bomb carrier is going to sneak in on the flank while you see the push coming. It's General with first blood, Mad Cat down. So man advantage to Enigma6, but they got to look out for the push on the back end, the flank coming through hot from Jordan Bance.
This is Enigma6 sticking together. However, they may be pinched themselves right now. We've got one player, Zero, going right round the back. He's going to take down General off our screens, but now a 2v2. Bance and Jerd going at it, and now Cade and Proto, they need to defense.
In this 2v2, it's just been a split from 2 directions, and now everyone is eliminated one by one. Jerd picking up a kill. You saw Bance with a kill, and Zero is now on a 2 streak, picking up your final kill cam. After that defuse, it's going to be tied up 1 apiece.
Interesting play from Splyce as well. As soon as they recognized that the push was going from B, they hit 2 on the flank instantly, and Zero really slowed the pace down. He waited for his team to hit that flank. I think that was well timed from the boys of Splyce, and Enigma6, I think they were just, you know, getting fired from 3 different angles.
And if Zero doesn't get the kill in the back, then you're able to focus down Jerd and Bance in the 3v2. Instead, Zero opens things up after they lost Mad Cat early. So nice round from Splyce. Can they convert it into points on the attack, though? Bance opening it up with an E-Rad short range. Proto didn't see that one coming. Now Mad Cat's got his back, takes out Cade. And Bance is going to be checking every corner as this 4-man crew is running together. General trades out 1v1, but it's a 3 versus 1 now, as M. Ruiz is the last one standing for Enigma6.
Just like that, General got that first kill for his squad, but straight away, Jerd was in his face. You can take down 1, but 2 isn't going to happen. And Splyce, again, they trade out efficiently. But interestingly enough, that's the first offense win here for Splyce, but it was that first kill from Bance. He spotted him going in, read that from the first round himself. Because they went into loading bay initially and they got gunned from either side. It's like, I think they're going middle and they're starting to read and understand how each other are playing.
Enigma6 kind of spread themselves out a little bit too much, and that's the problem we've seen from them. If you watch the group stages on this map, normally they would always send M. Ruiz in that place Proto was in on defense. It didn't work out for Proto that round. It never worked out for M. Ruiz throughout their group. They need to fix that moving forward. But here on the attack, Proto draws first blood. Bance finds 2, though, to trade it right back. It's 3 on 2 in favor of Splyce.
Yeah, Mad Cat's just called out 2 of them under fire. We're hopefully going to see a trade. Not going to happen. Great stuff for Enigma6 to pick 1 and stay alive. And now they're actually coming back to try and track down Bance. But little do they know, Bance has dipped out of there. It's going to be a 2v2, though. Bomb still in the hands. Actually, we've just seen the Scarab on play.
Yeah, here it comes. Bance using the score streaks to scout out, making sure no bomb is going down at A quite yet. That pushed back M. Ruiz. Bance now going to run in with the E-Rad. Both players will be waiting for him, but do they check the right corner? He's got support. Zero is there. It's a 1 versus 2 for Zero. General picks up the first kill, and at the end, it's going to be Enigma6. What just happened here? Let's see the official scoreboard. M. Ruiz picking up the final kill on Zero. So nice trades. General setting them up nicely.
Yeah, Bance saw both. And initially I thought, you know what, they'll call that out and they'll be able to clean it up. But just the efficiency of where Enigma6 was, and they read the play, they read the slight flank as well coming in. Great stuff. And they tie things up 2-2 here. This search and destroy looks like it could go all the way.
0, 5, and 2 continuing. Hot throughout this series. He was a monster in game 1, and he is going to be leading the charge, that arrow number 3. Going to find M. Ruiz around the corner any moment. If you look at Enigma6, they're going to have to battle up these spiral stairs. M. Ruiz does find first blood, but Zero and Mad Cat are there. Proto answers back, and this is just back and forth. Players are falling out of the map. Gets back in just in time, but he's eliminated. Bance, though, picks up the final 2 kills, and it is Splyce here in round 5.
Yes, that's a trade, but General nearly went huge for the 1v2 there. You can see how weak, who was it in the end? Bance. How weak Bance actually was there in that 1v1. unfortunate for General, but we see Splyce again winning that 2v1.
I like it. Bance keeping his hands warm. A little clap in between rounds. Every round.
Or just applauding himself. Great play, Bance.
Good job, me. Here we go. Round 6. 6 kills for Bance already. And on the defensive end, they want to play aggressive. Now, after not seeing an early push, I want to see how does Bance react with Jerd. Both players are basically holding hands on your mini-map. They have Mad Cat scouting out the push to B. Bance pops the camo. The flank is here, and here he comes. The payload could be so effective. Doesn't stop the bomb. And look at that. Ruiz gets up and sets Bance down. Last man standing, though. It's a 1v3. This is going to be impossible.
I'm not going to speak too soon right now, but Bance may have just been saved there because he should have picked up a 2-piece. Now he's been tagged. That'll be cleaned out by Splyce. But Bance, yeah, that second shot, you can see it in his face. Like, how didn't I kill him? Those first few bullets on the guy planting the bomb, difficult to say the least for him. But
and even if you don't get the kill, though, just having someone scream out, "Camo behind us," is going to get everyone's attention and throw off the rest of the shots. So Splyce holding strong on defense. Got to appreciate their reactions. They scouted the middle, didn't see any action there. Immediately jump at B after Mad Cat makes the call out. Everything done perfectly. Round 7, it's Splyce back on the attack with Bance controlling this bomb. As always, you're going to see the wall run overlooked by Zero and Mad Cat, and that reactive armor from Zero could be a big difference changer if this bomb gets down.
I like the way as well, Bance, he picked up his camo in, round 6. He's going for it. And with the recent promotion, if you like, from Zero, he said it himself, Bance has been using this camo very, very effectively. Bomb is down, and again, a 4v3. This is looking good for Splyce.
Zero got tagged up by that Scarab, slowed down, easy kill for Ruiz. So no reactive armor to worry about. In fact, Ruiz is still causing problems, finds his second kill. This is a 2-on-2. Ruiz, Centurion, not super effective. But maybe he can buy himself time. Nah, he's going to be spotted. Proto in a 1v2 has the right weaponry for the situation, though.
Yeah, perfect play from Jerd there. He picks up one. And that initial play there that we saw him just take a tag, he knows exactly where he is. They'll call out. He's dipping in and just saying, you know what, I'll bait.
Take the bait, baby. Come on in.
And trading efficiently. That's what I said about Splyce and their search and destroy. They just seem to work their numbers so well. The communication seems on point for Splyce right now. And this is the Splyce which, you know, we lost in the grand final, CWL Birmingham, and we saw kind of fall apart against Envious to lose their first seed, but they look back to their best. We've already seen Envious out of this competition, 7th, 8th. Splyce, they're looking for that #1 spot.
And here we go. Big round number 8. This is game point for Splyce. You can't fall behind 2-0 if you're Enigma6. You saw what United did to them in the uplink yesterday. Bance is going to fall at the hands of General. So good start here for E6.
Questionable play from Bance there. The one thing that I've said about Splyce, they've stuck together, and really that's where he kind of just went off on his lonesome, bit of a lone wolf act. But we do see it traded down now to a 2v2. Proto on your screens, trying to find something. Zero does have a payload, though. I believe it's reactive.
Mad Cat set up Splyce for success on a flank, caught a lot of players off guard, but the trades came through. Zero keeping his teammate up, and now this 2v2. 24 seconds left. They got to hop on the bomb with 7.5 remaining.
Reactive can be used here. Zero finds one. That's going to be the second. Perfectly implemented by Zero. He was the one. He was like, I am not getting on this bomb. I've got reactive. As soon as I see him, I'm taking him down. Not sure he expected to, but book it. That's not just one map where Zero has lit up. That is 2 back-to-back. Zero seems like he's back to his best with reactive armor.
When Joey D, a.k.a. Merc, told me that Splyce was going to finish second this weekend, I was like, you're crazy. There's no way. This tournament is way too stacked of North American talent. But look at Splyce. They are undefeated in the event. 5-0 to open things up after dispatching Evil Geniuses. They are now on match point after a perfect start to this best of 5.
Yeah, great stuff from Splyce. You said before, you know, they were the only team yesterday to pick up a 3-0. They're going into this 2-0 as well. However, they're a very strong uplink squad. But so are Enigma6. That's the dangerous thing. I've been waiting for this since yesterday. I knew that these two teams obviously playing this uplink. It's going to be tooth and nail, and it's not Frost. I think Splyce, they're a phenomenal Frost uplink team. Going into Precinct, I honestly think I favor Enigma6.
I hope so. I would love to see this one go 5 games, but we are on the verge of seeing another European sweep. Will they make it happen? Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got game number 3 for you. Splyce leads E6 2-0. We are back, and here's a look at your G Fuel key player matchup. On the left, we got Jerd representing Splyce, and on the right, the North American Cade is going to have to go up against one of the UK's best.
Jerd, he flourishes in uplink, a 1.05 there for him. But it's not just his slaying ability. It is all about that objective work. People say in Europe it is unmatched, those one-point plays. But he's going up against a team which notoriously are very, very good at uplink. Be interested to see how this one pans out. It's going to be a close one, Puckett.
Both players so good with the drone in hand. Keep your eyes on our G Fuel key player matchup.
I don't see Enigma6 as much of a challenge. I've played them before with this exact team. We wiped the floor with them 3-0. I don't know if they've got better or worse since, but they looked fairly decent at week 4.
What Splyce does well is pure aggression. They're just straight up in your face.
Used to be in Enigma6 is probably working together as a unit. They're not a very good teamwork team, I guess. And they rely on Proto to go off and General to slay.
A difference maker from Splyce would probably be Zero, because it's just annoying to play against.
The outcome against Enigma6, we'd probably win 3-0 or 3-1.
Splyce is up 2-0. Enigma6 needs to start the reverse sweep right here if they want to make it to the winners bracket finals. And this has been an insane day 2 already. We see Evil Geniuses eliminated. Envy falls to Optic Gaming, which no one saw coming into the losers bracket here on a day 2. One of these teams, though, they still have a chance. They will fall to the losers bracket. This is a winners bracket semi-final match. The winner, of course, moving on to our winners final, where you're guaranteed top 3 and $80,000.
I mean, 80,000 sounds great. I feel for the team that doesn't win, though, because they've got a team waiting for them. I think they go by Optic Gaming in the loser bracket, and that is not going to be an easy game. You're playing not only the green wall, but they've just taken a W against Envious. They're feeling the fire. They want that first place, and they're going to be coming off a loss, whichever team that it is. And right now, Splyce, they're 2-0 up.
Splyce, they basically have Enigma6. Their backs are against the ropes. They need to come out swinging. Who is going to be the star? We talked about the consistency from General and Proto. Well, that necessarily didn't come to fruition in their search and destroy. Will they be massive players here as we head into Uplink? The map is presynced, and as the game has evolved, so is the meta game, and the strategy is being employed. If you watch the earlier matches, the team that controlled or was attacking on the cat statue side, they seemed to score the most in their early halves. So who's going to have the better start? That's a big question for me. And if you're Enigma6, do you need to technically outslay the Splyce team to win the uplink, or can you get it done just focusing on the objective?
The crazy thing is, Splyce have won, half of their uplinks by being outslayed. That's the weird thing about this. The one thing for me, Enigma6 need to do, they need to get onto Zero's back. They need to punish him. They need to take him off this kind of hot streak, because map 1 and 2, he's been phenomenal. General, maybe he's the man to do that.
The fist out for General now. He's looking for Mad Cat with the K-bar. You got a wiggling Mad Cat up in the window. He's just bait there. Don't go for it. Proto instead is going to throw the drone out to his teammates. They have 3 over on this right side. And after getting the first blood, they thought they had a push, but Mad Cat instantly shuts it down. General, Cade removed. Zero's going to pick up the other 2. 4 down now, and Splyce is going to try and convert this into points.
Yeah, they are going to have one more wave to go, and the 1-point play is not made there. General with the double does prevent that for a second. We got Shockers coming in either side. And the jammer grenade is going to stop Zero for a second, but he's 4-0 already. I said, can you stop this man? It doesn't look likely.
Someone has to. Trey has been a monster here on day number 2. His first hard point, he was pushing for 40 kills. Search and destroy, he didn't slow down. And a 4-0 start here in game number 3. You see the drone, though. It's in the hands of Enigma6. Some big kills going, and that will lead to a 1-point toss. Who is it, though, in the feed? Zero clearing out the base. Splyce could look for a counter right here.
They really can. Enigma6, though, they draw the first blood in regards to the score. And General, he's not done just yet. He's made a kill himself. Another 1-point play could be on. But
nice
no, the pass comes in. A nice 2-point play, and they're 3-0, even though the slaying side of things most definitely in favor of, in fact, I say in favor of Splyce, but actually the only player going off is Zero.
Like, oh, crap, he's 8-1, but the rest of the team isn't doing anything. Everybody's getting ripped up here. Mad Cat had a nice defensive stand, but other than that, has 3 straight deaths. Jerd, 2 and 4 off to a slow start, and again, it's all blue in the kill feed here, so these teams taking turns slaying each other out. Even in that last fight where you saw the Enigma6 push, General made the dish to a teammate and they just used teamwork instead of the kills. This time around, they settled for a 1-point play, a 4-0 start here in your first 2 minutes. Enigma6 battling back after falling in our first 2 games.
Yeah, what I'd like to see Splyce do now is almost slow things down a little bit because they're getting a wave of kills and then I think they're almost rushing it. They're going too over-aggressive. Now they just need to play for a simple 1-point play. Zero's going to be the man to do that. He picks up kills as well. He is on fire, but he cannot do this alone. The scoreline sits at 4-1, but I think Splyce, they need to just control the tempo of the game.
Absolutely, and keep your eyes on the payloads here. Zero is about 50% towards his camo. On the other side, Proto in a similar situation. Ruiz is going to try and push up top, pre-fire in the doorway while he's hurt. Zero cleans that up, so even more points towards that camo. And here comes the Splyce push. There's one player behind him. Proto is going to try and stop this toss. He's picking up one. They know they got to get the toss off, and there it goes up, but not in. Will they get the rebound? Yes, they will. A triple kill from Jerd ensures that Splyce is back on the board. 3-4 here. And what a bounce back after a slow start. They put in 3 points in 1 minute.
Well, a bounce back, Jerd on a 5 streak. Cleaned up there as we do see 3 come in for Enigma6. And going into this, there's still 2 minutes on this half alone. There should be another 1 minimum point play here for Enigma6. They are going to convert that. But Splyce, it looks like, I see for a second they were going to try and clean this up, but no. Enigma6, they're still alive and kicking in their base. That's actually Cade over there.
And you just put 3 bullets into Cade, but it takes 4 to take him down. So Cade is blocking your spawns. He's forcing all Splyce to go through gas, and that's going to set up Enigma6 for a fast route through Ticket. Unfortunately, though, Mad Cat holds his own. As the last man in position, Mad Cat will keep Splyce in this. No more scores from Enigma6. Definitely a big kill to slow this down.
Yeah, Enigma6 coming out here after losing 2 maps have really impressed me, just the way they're performing. Because honestly, this has all been them except for that little play. But again, a 1-point play. It's going to be intercepted this time by none other than Bance. And we're going to see in the last 60 seconds, Splyce attempt to tie this up. Interesting enough, though, General's still lurking around the enemy base. I feel Enigma6 are a little bit too spread out right now.
This is something we've seen from them in the past, and it can pay off because they sit in weird corners. They catch you off guard. Just frustrating to play against. But Zero, he is going to gun down General, so no one behind them. There's no threat of a flank here, and Bance has been wiggling for the last minute versus Jerd. Both players refusing to show their faces. Finally, Bance is going to pop, put some shots in General. Ooh. The push is going to come through, and Ruiz uses his hands. Proto is leading the charge, though. He has been on top of the leaderboard in terms of kills, and he is going to clear the way. General getting the big shots there on Zero to stop the interception. 6-3, and we have 20 seconds to go here in our first half.
Yeah, Proto has had an absolute beast of a slaying side, but the objective, it's come from Ruiz and Cade. They've been the one putting the points together with 10 seconds left. It looks like we're going into the half with Enigma6 in the lead of 3, but Ruiz trying to make one last play. Don't think it's going to happen as it is shut down. Zero, he needs some help. He really does.
So the kills are about even. I just did some quick math. It's a kill or 2 going either direction. But you look at how this first half played out. Proto did his job. He got the kills with the ERAD. He led the charges. The most impressive play for me, though, was even though they were down a man on a push, Enigma6 got 3 kills. They all pushed gas side. And then the dish from General to Cade in the middle of all that gunfire, Cade slips by 2 people and is able to get the dunk in. That's kind of been the separation in our first half. Enigma6 making the teamwork pay off here in Uplink.
Yeah, and I talk about interactions a lot of Call of Duty. And you know what? With Zero leading with 33, it's so much more than anyone. It's just seen so much more of the action. However, Enigma6, they start strong again. This is the Uplink team that we know and love from Enigma6. They're pushing it forward. They're trying to take this to a game 4 here. There's a long time left to go in this half.
And here comes Splyce. Ruiz is going to find one. Doesn't get the second. Bance jumps right back out and punishes. So good, clean trade coming off of the respawn here for Splyce. Bance just dodging around, trying to buy time. Proto looking to hunt him, and Bance has the better ERAD this fight. 2 more players to beat, though. Putting shots in. He's going to finish off the kill on Cade. Look out for Bance, ladies and gentlemen. A 5 streak The tall one coming to life.
Yeah, really stepping it up here in the second side with 4 minutes left. The drone really hasn't moved in these 60 seconds, but Splyce, they're just trying to get that map control. Enigma6 putting up a fight. They're going toe-to-toe with them, but it's all around this statue, all around Cad and Splyce with a nice big double there. Maybe this is the start of something, but look at the drone, Puggy. It's in the hands of Enigma6.
Yeah, and you need Vance to play much faster. He was the flanker there looking for Cade. He's got teammates in position, though, and now Bance can actually become a lead blocker. Jerd is going to be rotating around. Actually dishes it to Bance, who's going to go for the clean 1 point. I like the safe play. The toss will make this a one-possession game.
And now working towards those payloads we are going to see in the second side. Big double for Madcap, but a triple for Splyce as the pressure is starting to be put on the back foot of Enigma6. They're going to have to rotate. They're going to have to decide, do they go back? Do they overextend? Because this drone is coming for more. Splyce are not done yet.
Madcat surviving that long bought them time to go for a second push here. And even though they missed the toss, Zero's going to pick up both kills, and the dunk comes flying through. What a second half so far from Splyce. Their 3-point deficit now gone. It is all tied up with 3 minutes to go, and they have control of their opponent's base. This is the third straight push, and this is another dunk if Zero can get to the drone.
Zero has not died in over 60 seconds, I believe. He's playing the best Call of Duty he has been since the CWL in London, and he said that himself. I'm having the time of my life out here in playoffs. He just burned his reactive armor, though, Puckett. That could come back to bite his butt.
And, you know, I said Zero's got to get to the drone. It was actually Madcap, player number 4, that was just fumbling around the minimap. Couldn't track it down. That 5 seconds wasted led to Enigma6 getting into position on defense and slowing down Splyce. Now Enigma6 has retaken control of their base. Splyce is all pushing out together and should win this next team fight, but at least there's a little bit of breathing room for E6. The good news, though, if you're Splyce, you haven't been threatened at all here in the second half.
The interesting thing is what Vance has done right now. He's flanked right behind them. That's going to be a 2-piece for him. His teammates don't pick up the kills, so that drone does go in favor of Enigma6, and they can develop a push themselves. Maybe a 1-point play out of nowhere. It's going high.
Proto.
It's good. It's 7-6, Puckett.
Proto up and over the building also has his payload, so keep that in mind here as this game is going down to the wire. Just a minute 40 left on the clock. Kills are being traded back and forth. Splyce is going to grab the drone despite a 2-on-3 situation here. And as Jerd loses his only blocker, he knows we just got to buy time. Throws it to Gas. I like this setup here. Let your teammates get into position here. If you're the yellow arrows, Enigma6, it is going to be so tough for them to push past Splyce. Not once, but they're going to have to do it twice.
Yeah, and Proto, he's going to initialize that overdrive, pushing forward, and you know what? That should be a 2. It will be. He's fast. He picks up Zero as well, and that is a 9-6 game. 60 seconds left. This is looking fantastic for Enigma6.
And that overdrive has Proofy screaming here on the analyst desk. They are getting fired up after that play. Proto don't need camo. He gets it done with the overdrive and uplink. And he is going to get the 1-point toss, 10-6. This has been back and forth, back and forth. Your first 2 minutes of the second half, it's all Splyce. And then all of a sudden, Enigma6 takes a tricky situation, makes it work over on the Gas side, and goes in for back-to-back plays. But now the overdrive going the opposite direction. It's Madcap for Splyce throwing in a dunk. 34 seconds, and this is a single possession game.
Trinity rockets have been used, and not one kill's come out of them. There's the first. Proto picks that up, and the drone is in the hands of Bance. Bance actually has the camo. He was promoted for the one reason. He's got to use this. He's got to utilize it, but no, it goes down. Kate's going to have it, and that camo's wasted.
16 seconds left, though. All you got to do is get the kills, and it's not going to happen. 3-on-2, make it 3-on-0. Enigma6 stalling him out at the cat statue. No need for a reset. They've got this one locked up. What an uplink, though. Give it up for both teams.
Enigma6 showing how strong they are. Bance, that camo at the end, that could have been the difference maker. He decides to go up into the building. It doesn't work out for him. He had 3 options, but I've got to say, Zero, again, third map back-to-back, playing the best Call of Duty I've ever seen him play. Bance will be frustrated with that.
Zero sharing his water as well, making sure Madcat's hydrated. What a teammate in this series.
Well, I want whatever Zero's drinking as well. Like, he's going off right now. But that's what I expected from these 2 teams in Uplink. 2 of the best teams in the world playing their favorite game mode, their best game mode, going head-to-head. And Splyce, they were 4 points down with like 50 seconds to go, but they didn't, they didn't just sit back and think, okay, let's think about map 4. They went for it. The payloads were available. They could have tied that series up.
It's great to talk with these teams and just talk about their strengths and weaknesses. I was talking with Splyce. They said our best game mode's hardpoint. Statistically, it points towards their uplink.
Yeah.
Enigma6, you'd say uplink's their best game mode, but yet they got blown out in that versus E-United and won the hardpoints. This weekend is just crazy. I never know what's going to happen, but I do know we are in for a treat as long as Enigma6 keeps up that teamwork that we just saw in game number 3. Leading into Breakout, it's going to be all about rotations. Proto has been playing incredible. He got that team off to a hot start. The E-Rad can do so much work on this map at short range. In general, you saw him at the end. He started to heat up again with the NV4 and the K-Bar. So look at these two players on the far left. The hill work should be done by these two, Cade and Ruiz.
Well, it'll be interesting going into our 4th map. Of course, Hardpoint Breakout. European teams, they were notorious for being pretty poor. Splyce, we're talking 3-4 months ago, they were in positions where they were scoring only 20 points against the likes of FaZe. They have put a lot of time into this map and this game mode. You can see their game mode has improved dramatically, but Breakout, it's one of those iffy maps. I'd like to think Splyce and the likes of Madcat has really stepped up kind of the rotations, when to push, when not to push, but they definitely have their work cut out here against Enigma6.
And I will give credit to Splyce. They were kind of the first European team to really fix their Breakout hardpoint game.
Yeah.
You saw them rebound very quickly. They looked solid in that game mode back at Dallas. We didn't see him play it too often in the group stages, but Splyce is no slouch on this map. I think that the European team struggling on this is a myth when you're trying to put Splyce in that group. Maybe Red Reserve, Elevate, yeah, those guys struggle on this map, but I don't think Splyce has that problem anymore. On the other side for Enigma6, what went wrong for you on Throwback? Because clearly, Zero had a great game, but things weren't going your way.
Yeah, I think General definitely wasn't that snapper that Proofy described, the one that could just kind of win every gunfight. He was struggling. He was coming up into a lot of battles which were 2v1, and that's what Splyce do. And Enigma6, they need to read that, and they need to almost just adapt a little bit here, because Enigma6, they can't just brute force their way through a Splyce defense. They need to work it strategically. If they do, one thing I've noticed from Enigma6, they've been able to hold the hills quite well. They were good on holding Barn. They were actually pretty great as well at holding the back path, but we're going into Breakout, and I think this is a map which, can be very, very punishing. We've seen teams get absolutely destroyed. I mean, even at this tournament, I think it was EG who kind of just got stomped and pushed out. It's difficult to watch, but it's not uncommon.
Enigma6, they are great at getting spawns, but not getting kills, says Patrick Price. He wants the world to know that they're setting up properly, but they're not able to slay, and I think that's kind of been the issue for them throughout this series. You got to keep up with the likes of Zero and Jerd, who took over the first hard point. Here we go, though. We're going to be opening things up, and a fun fact here, just sent in by our stats team, Splyce has not lost at all in Stage 1 after winning the first hard point. So they're the favorite to seal the deal right here in game number 4, or even game number 5 if it goes the distance. And off the break, it's going to be Cade with first 2 kills. We talked about the X factor for game 1. He didn't show up. What a start here to game number 2. Finally, Jerd tracks him down.
Yeah, Jerd staying alive for an extra few seconds there, definitely helping them. But we're going to see that set up from Enigma6, and they're pushing out Madcat. He's going to draw blood onto Proto. But this initial hill is not something that you're wanting to really go for. Sometimes you will see that trade out. But ironically enough, you can score a 30, 25-point lead off that middle central hardpoint.
We got to hear the comms here for Enigma6. They had a great start, but Splyce is now battling back, and they have the position for the new hard point. So let's crank up our headphones with E6 and figure out how they plan to break through.
I don't see Sparrow. Yeah, he's in mid bay. He's in mid bay.
Going the far back.
Mid bay. Let's go, Nick.
Yeah,
we're all in the back, kid. We have to stay alive. Wait for us.
Stay alive.
Yeah, just play your life.
Go back left. He went inside.
I don't see him.
Two shots inside. I'm leaving you. He naded me. Yeah, only one hill.
Charge in there. Let's go, boys. Yo, I'm pushing on from middle. Waiting for this kid in the back.
Alright, I spawned out. There's one inside.
Yo, middle. He's green truck dead. Green truck dead.
Push my left side
He's in the back though. He's still in the back. There's 2 in the hill, dude. There's one in the back, one right there. Go middle. Go middle.
We gotta go to middle. Stay alive. We have to play left.
Enemy top laundry.
Yeah, they're gonna be pushed up, boys.
Top laundry. He's snaking
Left side. He's still snaking.
He's gonna nade him.
2 shots in Medcat. Medcat killed me, guys.
He's green card. I got yo, bunch that green car. There's only one in hill, dude. There's 3 middle, 1 in hill.
Job.
2 green car.
Yo, rotate, Mike. Rotate. I'm gonna push.
Pussies. There's fucking his middle.
Zero's back key box. Zero's back key box.
He's 5. He's 5. He's on a 5, dude.
I'm gonna push at the front, dead. I'm gonna push at this time. Back commissary. Everyone just rotate. Everyone just rotate. Middle.
Sneaking next.
Do it all. Listen, there's only 2. There should be an easy rotation. We're here. We're here. Alright, I'm gonna play middle and pinch, honestly.
Like, you wanna go down to the dip? Yeah, anyone have an MD?
I do.
Watch over this.
He's in.
Trinity.
He's inside. He's inside. Absolutely. He's inside. Absolutely.
I needed that, Nick.
Yo, he's inside somewhere.
The frustration is apparent there from Cade as you see Enigma6 unable to break through the cell block. And look at the 7 streak from Zero. We talked about him being a monster in game 1. Well, he's back here for game 4. One of the best series we've ever seen from an individual. Zero has been a monster. 9 straight kills. After falling in his first fight, he has turned up. What do you do here if you're Enigma6? How do you stop this man?
Honestly, first thing, take that reticle away from him because he is loving it right now. He loves the 3 pink dots, but he's going to be taken down at 12 and 3. But seriously, Zero, they need to get up close and personal with him because those mid-range gunfights, he's winning every single one of them. At 12 and 3, he's doing work for his team. That rotation onto obviously this hill has been great for Splyce. However, look at Enigma6. They're thinking about the commissary, and commissary, that can be a money hill bucket.
117 points on the clock, and 88 and counting of them belong to Splyce. Let's crank up our headphones and hear the comms from our European team.
One shot at the back. Watch the right side of it. There's only one hill. Let's go hill. We're spawning close. I'll pick up mid. Push out the back. One shot. One shot inside. He's going mid. Nice mid.
Weak mid.
Stay alive.
Check it. One shot.
Watch the back.
He pushed that back. One check in still.
They're going to be back.
Be on the wall. Could be on the wall.
We're coming warm.
Back.
Nice.
One more. Back. Let's go.
Oh my God!
Nice.
I got flank a bit showers.
Hold mid. One's mid ready. Mid.
I'm
playing. Hold about.
One shot mid. Check in close.
Wait, watch out. Nice, let's go, boys!
Any moment. Mid one shot. Mid.
I'm flanking Sparrow.
Alright. Playing this with you, Ben. I'm going to the alley. One on top of their barrel tree.
Oh, he's killed me. One in hill.
Yeah, one shot here.
Just play slow. One
Close challenge.
One's on me. Spawn down. Wait. Let's go. Watch out.
Yeah, we spawned one.
Watch out. Under laundry.
Watch out.
We come back from that with the score double up in favor of Splyce, something that we saw in game number 1 for a few moments, and Splyce could run away with it here. They have total control of the center map. You see player 1, Bance, is watching the flank, and Madcat is in a perfect position to watch all the entrances to loading, picks up 2 of the 3 pushes, and now we have Scorchers in the back pocket for Zero to use later on as well. Everything is looking great for this EU team. Zero has slowed down a little bit, but Madcat is starting to heat up. On the other side, it's been Cade since the beginning. He's been their best performer. Proto on a 3 streak is starting to work on streaks as well. Enigma6 could still pull this back in.
They definitely can, and that's breakout for you. However, heads-up play from Madcat there, utilizing that flechette grenade. But Bance, he needs to just kind of do what he's doing. I know he's 8 and 14 right now, but he's doing a lot of the baiting for his squad from what I've noticed. But I just want to cast your eyes back to this cell block. We saw it when we were in the comms. Jerd made a huge play. They need to get that back hill, that back spawn, and at the moment, Enigma6 have control.
On that first rotation, Jerd was so big, but Enigma6 has won the fight this time around. You saw the push coming through. Proto picked up that kill, so that's a 5 streak for Proto. He's going to be so close to his streaks as well, knowing he's inside the hill, and Proto will finally fall, but he got Jerd on the way out. So Proto, I assume he is going to be streaked out. Keep your eyes on him for Enigma6. It's back to a 50-point game, and you will have Splyce battling for cell block control for the final 20 points. Enigma6 wins it, though, and this is going to be just a 30-point game on the next rotation.
Ruiz is 1 away from his Trinity rocket. We've got to keep our eyes out for that because that can change the game. However, Splyce, they've got full control of this graveyard. One player being a little bit sneaky. Madcat could find one. You can see him through, obviously, the X-ray vision.
No.
He's going to spot him. Oh, Madcat's still alive. He could come to turn and burn, but Proto using this kill score streaks as well. Actually being taken down, but look how close this game is, Puckett.
Now, you saw Ruiz did get his streaks. Proto actually took him out before the bombardment came through, so a small mistake there. But just a heads-up play from Ruiz. A lot of people are saying, oh, he may be the weak link of this squad. He checks every corner, finds Mad Cat, and then knows the pressure is going to be coming, turns on that player that came to challenge while the rest of his teammates hit from the opposite end. Perfect retake from Enigma6, and look at your scoreboard. From 50-point deficit down to 30, now down to just 4 points. Enigma6 could retake the lead right here.
Absolutely. Proto is on a 5-kill streak, and looking across the board, every single player, bar General, is positive. And you know what? We always talked about General on these hard points, but Proto, Cade, and Ruiz deserve that credit. They are going off. The commissary is coming up next, and once again, Enigma6, they are fully set up at 149 apiece.
You got the X Factor flowing. That's Cade. He's got his payload available on the other end. Keep your eyes on Jerd. He's got his FTL jump soon, and more importantly, Bance and Zero working towards that camo and reactive armor. Those could be massive on our final hills. Streaks also could come into play. You see a few Trinity rockets are up for grabs. And General now from Enigma6 is challenging at the front. Looked at the low wall run while Ruiz calls in the Trinity rockets. The spawns, though, from Splyce, they keep flooding through the back, so all of that work, and you only get 2 kills out of it.
Yeah, that's perfect play from Enigma6. Perfect utilization of the score streaks as well. That Trinity rocket showing what it can do. Enigma6 now have the lead. They're 30 points ahead, and they're looking to close this one out and push a game 5.
Shots coming through, and Mad Cat's gonna win the fight versus Ruiz and Cade. Zero in defeat as well for the final 15 points here. Splyce down 25, and it will be about 10 as the rotation goes down. Enigma6 is set up first. Let's see how Splyce breaks through.
Zero. He was 15-5. He's now 19-16. A real turn of events right now in Enigma6. They're turning up the heat. We're going back to that central rooftop. And Zero on your screens trying to get back into this. That's the first of maybe 2 as he pushes through. I've got to point out, though, Jerd having a real lackluster game. He does need to find the heat.
And Bance.
Find something.
Yeah, Bance is -9. You got Jerd at -8. These are your stars, right? Jerd was doing so well on throwback with the E-Red, but being forced to use the K-bar here on breakout, not working out for him. Bance just struggling as well. Not sure what's happening there. It's been Zero and Mad Cat keeping this game close. On the other end, it seems more of a team effort, but Cade leading everyone in the lobby at 25 kills now. Jerd is going to pick up some massive kills, and that double from Mad Cat is going to put the pressure on Enigma6. Keep your eyes on these spawns. You have 2 in the very far back. They spawn all the way over at the helipad. The last 2 members are holding their ground. It's General and Proto locking in the cell block. What a hold. Enigma6 only has to deal with Bance now.
Yeah, Bance is in a very difficult position. He'll be looking to pick up 1 more kill. Not going to happen, and that isn't, to be honest, unrealistic there, as we are going to see Splyce. They're going to go for the full rotation with 4-point deficit here. We're looking at the 200 mark, so they need to break this, and this could be their only chance to do so.
Cade inside, continuing to score, allowing Proto to go out front and slave for the new spawns. Everyone hitting from the back, though, and Proto's going to call it. They will be looking at this back entrance, but one player goes out to challenge, loses his life. Proto is going to trade out 2, and Ruiz is going to find a 3rd. Nice reaction, good teamwork. Zero, so strong, though, using the reactive, stays alive and picks up 2 kills to challenge.
Yep, that's huge from Zero, and honestly, that reactive armor could have just kept them in the game, but Cade will be pushing from the side. The cell block only has 15 seconds left. You are wanting to be in graveyard. I'm thinking, is there any score streaks left? I don't think there is, but Proto and Cade, they both have their payloads available.
I don't think Mad Cat has anything, and Zero has already used all of his streaks. Over on the other end, Camo Proto could cause problems. Wins the first gunfight against Bance, waiting for his health to come back. And look at the perfect shots. Proofy throwing his hands up in the air saying, what just happened, son? Gets melted. Enigma6 down 2 games, battles back in uplink, and now they are 12 points away from stealing the hard point.
Yep, and that's a camo play that only picks up 1. Splyce need to get in there. They need to do it now. Cade and Proto jumping in the mix. It's going to be contested. FTL coming in as well. But no, Splyce actually get the better of that. And there's 30 seconds still left on this bucket. They still can do it.
Absolutely. If they get Zero down, that is the question. It's not happening here. Splyce staying up, 20 points to gather, but your opponent only needs 4. So how do you push without giving up your hill on this hard point?
They just push through. They have to dedicate themselves with 4 points left. We can see Madcat and Bant going around the back. There's 2 people on it. It's General and I believe Ruiz. These next couple of kills can win the game. Madcat's got Centurion, but they've got to go now.
Jerd's got to get in there. He's pushing from the front. They're contesting. 248, and those kills will keep it. 248, 234. The spawns, though. Enjoy them. Enigma6 gets in. Cade slides into the hill to finish off game number 4. And this is exactly what we saw against United yesterday. You fall down 2-1 early on, and then you win game 4 and 5. Can Enigma6 make it back-to-back series and cause the upset again?
They most definitely can. And you know what? When you've got a team on fire who wins an uplink in that fashion and a hard point in that fashion, they have the momentum. They have everything going for them right now. And just one map away is a top 3 finish, a winner bracket, final position. And they'll be the first to get there as well. Splyce, though, they have to regain. And for me, Zero, he played 3.5 maps perfectly.
We got Grandma being FaceTimed over there for General, cheering him on. We got a big game number 5 coming up next, but we got to talk about the stats. Producer, give me those one more time. Cade leading the way from the very beginning in that game number 4 for Enigma6. He is going to drop the big numbers on the other end for Splyce. You saw the hot start from Zero, but he kind of fell apart.
Yeah, Zero at one point, he was 15-5. He was triple positive, and then he was something like 19-16. You know, to kind of go on that streak of a 3-11 streak mid-game, that is not what you want to do. He'll be a little bit disappointed and frustrated with himself on that one, but going into a game 5, this is where sometimes Splyce can flourish. They can go into this and, you know, just kind of run away with it, but I've seen the opposite. I've seen them crumble under the pressure. And talk about pressure, we're at the 3rd biggest Call of Duty tournament ever. We've got $500,000 on the line here. This is just a little step behind COD Champs.
Just behind COD Champs. It's definitely the biggest event we have seen so far this year, and it is going to be a massive finish. We're still in the winner's semifinals, and a game 5 will determine which of these 2 teams is going to lock in a top 3 finish guaranteed here at Stage 1. Enigma6 versus Splyce, your winners bracket semifinals. One of these two teams is going to lock in a top 3 and $80,000 here in stage 1. Who's making it to the winners bracket finals? We're about to find out. Game number 5, Search and Destroy on Retaliation will settle it all.
I thought you were going to ask me, Puckett, then. I was worried for a second. These teams have been going tooth and nail, back to back here. 2 for Splyce, 2 for E6. And now we come down to Search and Destroy on Retaliation. These two teams, honestly, they've had their ups and downs at Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how to call it. All I want is a round 11. Yes, I'm from Europe, but from England, I love an underdog.
You want
right
take
now,
a
that's
6-0?
E6.
You want to take a 6-0 Splyce?
It's not, I mean, it's not happening. It is not happening. 6-0 is not happening between these two teams. I see this a minimum 9-10 rounds. I really do. This is going back and forth.
I'm going 6 months Splyce here. Patty Price, he's been feeding me info all weekend long, and he's saying Splyce has got this. It's Retaliation. Why do they have the advantage, though, when it comes to Retaliation? Why do you think a person like Aches would side with your European team?
Aches, honestly, is a bit of a lunatic. I'll be completely honest with all his predictions, but they're all right.
He called all the upsets yesterday.
I mean, I think he's got 2 out of like 27 wrong. But apart from that, I really think that I don't think that's giving enough credit to the likes of E6. I think from the previous Search and Destroy that we did see, yes, Splyce looked strong, they looked composed, and they looked a little bit more disciplined in my eyes as well. But I worry because Splyce have just come off a map 3 loss, a map 4 loss. And how do they kind of rejuvenate? I think it's that, man.
Yeah, and you kind of talk to the teams about the transition. You lose Josh, who was kind of a grumpy old man after they started losing. Zero, they lose back-to-back games. He's smiling, he's joking around. That's that energy you need going into a big tiebreaker game 5. You can't be thinking about the negatives. You got to wipe away what happened to Bance and Jerd in that hard point and focus on what you've been doing well. And that is win your searches. They did it against EG. They won their first search here on Breakout against Enigma6. Can they remain perfect in this game type here in the playoffs? We're about to find out. The players just a few moments away. And as we take a look here at Retaliation, Search and Destroy, let's talk big picture. Where is the easier bomb site to plant? Where are the teams going to favor after kind of the spawns have been switched up midway through the season?
I'm glad you talked about the spawns because that does change things a lot. We saw notoriously everyone pushing to that bottom market bomb, 8-9 times out of 10. But Splyce were always the team at that point to change things up and go to the bridge bomb. Now, honestly, I see this as kind of a 50-50. I don't think there's anything in Splyce's book that's going to surprise me too much. But Enigma6, I can't remember the last time I saw Enigma6 play on this map, Retail S&D, so I'm trying to wrap my brains and think of something here, but I will be looking for their assault rifle players because you're going to have those long gun engagements. Jerd, though, watch for Jerd rushing through the middle and taking one as the first blood. Retail S&D, though, I'm glad we're seeing it in the rotation. It's my personal favorite.
And before the spawn update, this was Enigma6's best S&D map. Last time we watched them on this game type, though, they seemed a little thrown off by the defensive timing. Not used to it. You know they've been putting in the practice, though. Out of all the teams, Enigma6 is always one of the first to be in the back, to be warming up. Man, these guys yell and get fired up during bot killing sessions. So you know they're going to be bringing the energy into this game 5.
And that's a team that comes into this as maybe the predicted 7th, 8th team, when you look at this. But they're gunning for a top 3 position right now, and we're getting into it, Puckett.
Here we go. Enigma6 Splyce, your winners bracket semifinals. This is game 5 in the best of 5 series, and we're going to be starting things off with Jerd. You talked about, don't be surprised to see him run in and challenge for a first blood. He is going to put some early shots down, but it's Bance in the kill feed first. Jerd finds Proto just traveling around the map, and this is going to lead to a wide open bomb site here at B at the lower street. You still have the flank being watched by Mad Cat, 2 players defending the bomb planter.
I'm not sure exactly what Proto was doing there or how he got there, but right now the bomb goes down at 4v2. This is Splyce's round. If Emery's and Cade pull off something special here, by all means, it'll be fantastic, but Splyce should be able to close things and trade things out. Nice grenade there, and Team Shooting will pick up the first. Clever play by Ruiz.
Absolutely. Don't need to jump out there and challenge. No need to fly through the air. Take your time and hit the shots. Almost outgunned Zero, but then the windmill came on shots 5 and 6. Zero punishes him, and that is the round. good patience, though. You saw Jerd showing himself early. He backs down, and you see the help coming through as Zero picks up both of the last 2 kills.
I thought Zero was done by the first, let alone picking up the double there, but he is the man that's screaming on the stage, and, you know, that used to be Josh, but you said about it, how replacing him with this kind of young, very hungry player is going to change the kind of atmosphere in that camp, but Zero has been on fire all series long. Game 5, though, this looks a little bit different.
And we are showing you Zero's position on defense. He's just going to sit back and watch the flank because Enigma6, they're taking this one to the top of the map over at A. As I say that, you see General leading the charge. Ruiz will get first blood, so man advantage to Enigma6. And that bomb, they totally bamboozled Splyce. They're on the opposite side of the map. The bomb is going down. Ruiz continues to pick up kills. He's finally traded out. But now a 3-on-2 with bomb planted. You have to think this is Enigma6's round.
Yeah, it has to be. Ruiz there drew out 3 players and got took down by the 3rd and final. But MadCat, being that final player now in a 1v3, will be looking to try and do some damage, but with 25 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to spot 1 at the top market. Not going to happen as we tie things up 1 apiece.
Ruiz getting some fist bumps. Proto with the final kill, and they are all celebrating. Here is Proto with the perfect shots on MadCat. The laser right there, tracking him despite the statue getting in the way. Very impressive stuff. Proto has been my favorite player to watch from this team throughout the group stages and now in playoffs. He can just go off at any time. He was so strong with the E-Rad, but to see him do that with the K-Bar, just showing his versatility.
Yeah, through the playoffs, he's been fantastic. And now it looks like Enigma6, they're trying something a little bit different. They lost the B-bomb site so early on. This time they're going aggressive on the defense. Splyce a little bit clustered up on the offense, but we're going to see here from Proto's point of view, waiting for that attack. 3 players from Splyce are in the bar, and Jerd looking to just fade out a couple of players. It's what he likes to do as he draws through the middle. We'll be waiting for MadCat for that trade, and he's going to be taken down. Jerd trying to answer back there, but Bance and Jerd do even the numbers actually put themselves in the favor. It's going to be a 1v2.
All right, so you weren't there to trade out the kill for MadCat, but you do pick up some kills if you're Jerd, and now it's up to Zero to finish off Ruiz, who is in a 1v2, makes it down to a 1v1, and this is awful timing. Right behind him, it's Zero who's slapping him in the back. Ruiz didn't see him coming, turns his back just as he rounds the corner, and Zero gets the job done. Did you just fist bump, by the way, at the end of that round? Were you cheering on Splyce?
You know what? I want a close game, but I'm European. Look at I'm European. There's only one team here.
There's only one. That's true. Mini game. Only one succeeded to get into the playoffs.
Merc's European with me this weekend.
He's my favorite European from Ohio of all time. Here we go. Round number 4, Splyce up 2-1. It's going to be the first to 6 round wins to take our deciding Game 5. And Bance is trading E-Rad shots as Jerd picks first blood again. It's MadCat right behind him with the kill on General. 2 down. This round is all Splyce.
That's what I mean about Splyce on the defense. Sometimes they'll go super aggressive. Jerd was that initial play, and now a 1v4 for Ruiz. For me, a little bit too much to ask right now, but he's got 4 kills. He's a top slayer for his squad. Maybe he can put a couple on the board. No. Splyce, they separate the gap. And you know what? If Fakes is right with his prediction again, I'm just getting out of here. I can't take this anymore.
He called the 6-1. Is he right? It's looking good. That's 3-1 and a fantastic start. So you look at Jerd, he's been all over these first bloods. Offense, defense, it doesn't matter. And the fact that he had a teammate to watch Bance's back right after that kill went down, it's just a testament to the practice that Splyce has obviously been putting in. They're in position to trade, where it looks like Enigma6 previously used to hold that advantage.
Yeah, Zero started strong again, even though he had a bit of a sloppy ending to that hard point. Bit of team shooting coming down, but they know where they're in. Look at Jerd again. He's up in the face of the enemy. I actually don't like him being out here on his lonesome. He's going to track back. He knows he's on his own, but they're pushing through the middle as well. Will trying to find one. Not going to happen. Nobody to trade. And now Splyce are in a really poor position.
Enigma6 all stacked up. They had 3 players together, and General is going to find another kill on MadCat. So if you're Bance and Zero, good luck here. Bance did just spot General. General's looking for him, and that was almost a near kill. But now when he comes to challenge, there's going to be so many players that are not General. It was Proto and Cade, and Proto will fall. So Bance gets out with a kill, and that's going to make this now potentially possible. We're going to see Bance moving across to the bomb site. But look where Zero's at. He's all the way across the map. There is no way that they can work together now.
Yeah, they're trying to play the split game, and you know what? That's a 2v2. Bance is absolutely insane for what he's doing here, but it's worked time and time again. And now Zero will be looking to back him up. A little bit too late as the bomb dropped in bedroom. 15 seconds here. Zero needs to get his boots running.
Oh!
Not happening. We see a little bit closer now.
From the ground to the air, so fast was M. Ruiz. He just hit the spring shot. Watch this. Boing! To the roof, bounces off the ceiling, and picks up the headshot on the way down.
3-2 as we get an ever closer round going into round 6. And this, for me, is such a crucial round, 46. I talk about kind of those game-changing rounds. You know, you tie things up 3-3 or you go 4-2 down. It is that mentality, you know, playing its part. But Splyce, they're getting aggressive on the defense, and they are all over B.
Bance is just patrolling right now with Jerd. They're kind of running that short-range duo, players 1 and 2 on your minimap. Meanwhile, the long-range damage is going to try and come in from Mad Cat and Zero. Bomb being planted, and there's a player on the other side of that wall. It's going to be M. Ruiz, who will be peeking Splyce first.
Bance is getting up close and personal, but General is on the flank. You've got to watch out for this, and someone's got to make a move. Mad Cat has just seen one. That's going to be initial first blood for M. Ruiz, and Enigma6 looking strong to take this back.
M. Ruiz hiding like Kill in the bush, and he is going to pop out for the kills. General there picks up one, but Jerd, last man standing, makes the 1v3. Now a bearable 1 versus 2, but the time clock, you got to get there in 7 seconds. No way you get to both players. There's one. The challenge not coming in. And off goes Jerd. He's going to jump off the map. No need to feed the streaks.
He did get his FTL out of that last kill, but he didn't want to feed anything to the opposition. And that's really important for E6. It's now 3-3. And this is what I thought it would be. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4-4, a 5-5, and it go all the way. But so far, we see a tie game.
On your screen is M. Ruiz. He is so close to Centurion. Is that even viable here in Search and Destroy?
Most definitely. I mean, if you can get the bomb down and put a Centurion next to it, you get a lot of intel from that. A lot of people use the Centurion as well to put it down on a flank just to know if someone's coming around a corner. We'll have to wait and see how he utilizes that, because he most definitely will get it. If he gets 1 kill, 1 plant, anything to his name, he's already on 8 and 5. But with 60 seconds left on the clock, all 8 players still alive.
M. Ruiz putting the team in his backpack this game. He's been spotted now, though. Jerd is going to put the initial shots, and M. Ruiz survives to pick up Bance. Somehow makes a play out of nothing, and that makes it a 3-on-3.
They know he's in there as well. That's the problem for M. Ruiz, is he's pinned in. But the problem for Splyce is they don't want to go in and just walk straight into his gunfire. There's one player
that leaves
around.
Player 2 all alone, yeah. And Jerd's just going to walk between. That was Cade and Proto. M. Ruiz wins the patience battle. And look at this. Ruiz is going to pick up 2 kills in the round, sets up his teammates for the 3rd and 4th. What a play. The man on the bottom right of your screen is going in.
Yep, and that's 3 rounds back-to-back for Enigma6 now. And, you know, they're in the driving seat. They've won the last 2 maps. They've now won 3 rounds back-to-back. They're in the leading game 5. The confidence is flowing. We've got double digits for M. Ruiz. I don't know how Splyce really changed this, because the payloads are going to be coming in their favor as well.
And Cade had such a slow start. That was a big round for him. A little confidence builder as he picks up 2 more. But really, this is the M. Ruiz show, and he is going to lead the charge on the attack. Remember, he was the man hiding in the bushes last time they went over for this bomb site. This time around, though, he has been spotted. Someone was overlooking, and Jerd so fast gets behind enemy lines, picks up the melee and the headshot on Proto. 2 down. This should be Splyce's round.
It should be. That Centurion as well will not be utilized. You could almost see what they were trying, but General does find one, and his location will be revealed. But Jerd, again, he's on his own. I really want to see this almost regrouped, and the rest of his squad's backed up to their spawn.
No camo will be coming into play here for Enigma6. You see Proto and General off to slow starts. On the other side, Bance, he's just at 5 and 7, so it could be the reactive armor. Something to keep your eye on as this game continues. General's going to scoop up the bomb, and with all 3 defenders on the other side of the map, he will be able to get this one down safely.
Yeah, this isn't uncommon for Splyce as well. Usually when they have that numerical advantage, they'll just fly really high, but all together, because they'll win the trades. Mad Cat picks up the first. This should be impossible for General, but I've seen crazier things happen. There we go as the trades do come in. Splyce finished that round strong. And we're looking closer towards the payloads. I'm looking at Zero. He's going to get close to that reactive armor. Jerd working his way towards the FTL as well.
And that round was all Jerd, by the way. He picks up your first 2 kills. He sets you up for success and then picks up the round-ending kill cam. He's been a beast.
It was really ballsy of him to do that because he tried it before and it didn't work. He actually, you know, died first blood to the enemy. Well, they're picking up 2. It really changed the round for them. And now we see 3-3, we see 4-4. I feel like we're going all the way, Puckett.
Jerd now 9-5. Another fantastic search and destroy game from him. Bance on your screen has the bomb on that mini map, and here he is. You can see how close he is to a camo, about 2-3 kills away, which would be huge if he can build that up before round 11. I see this one going the full distance. Is it going to happen? Let's take a look at round 9. 30 seconds burned off the clock. After your 30 seconds, you have defense positioned all over the hotel. You have a flanker coming in the form of M. Ruiz, and that's going to be the first fight. Bance versus M. Ruiz. Zero is going to finish off the kill.
Great team kill as well there. You know, 2 or 3 players all putting shots into him. Another one spotted bedroom, but the important thing is Zero picked up the kill, so he gets reactive. The bomb can go down now, and using that reactive to solidify, you know, round number 9 it will be. That could really change the game. Zero's gonna find another. The man is on fire, and a 2v4 Puckett. This round could be over.
Slow start for Zero, but here he is, showing up big. The team shot with Bance, that was a solo effort. And now he's looking for his 3rd kill. Just spotted Proto, who doubles all the way back. He's going to be going for broken window. Meanwhile, you got Cade trying to challenge from this platform, and Zero just has everything watched.
Yeah, I don't think this is a smart play from E6. I think they're taking too much time here. Vance has spotted one. Jerd's taken out the other. That'll be all she wrote there. And we're going to go to round number 10 with Splyce in the lead. Important note, Puckett, reactive armor is still in the bank for Zero. Yes. I do want to see where Bance is up to with that camo as well, because Jerd may even have FTL. This is going to be a very interesting round number 10, and it favors Splyce.
The venue's about to get a lot louder as well. I just saw a whole FaZe crew walking in here. They're gearing up for the final match of the night. But before we get to that, it's not final match, final winner semi-final match. Before we get to that, though, we got to go into this round. Look at the payloads. Bance has got his camo. You got the reactive from Zero. FTL jump up for Jerd. Enigma6 trying to force a round 11, has nothing to work with but their gun skill.
Camo, reactive, FTL, it favors Splyce. Enigma6 needs something big. Camo's gonna pick up the first, now a 4v3. Proto has the bomb, and you know what, Splyce, they're looking strong. My question is, when Jerd and Zero gonna use theirs?
M. Ruiz is about to get pushed by 3 players as well. Look at player 3 and 4, that was Zero as well as Mad Cat. And as I said, Cade and Zero picking up kills. They're all trading out. Mad Cat's gonna get one, and there comes in the final one. What a job by Splyce. Hot start. They allow Enigma6 back in the game and then close it out strong using that teamwork, rotating all around the map and showing some superior gun skill. This squad, so dangerous. Merc called them to finish top 2 this weekend, and now they are guaranteed at least top 3.
Yeah, I just want to say I think that's the first prediction I've got right over Aches. 10 rounds, we see that, and you know what? I think I was more nervous for the boys watching that there, but Splyce, they move into a winner bracket, and I think the important thing to really kind of highlight there, they are now guaranteed top 3, $80,000 for Splyce, and they are not done yet. They came here with one goal, and that is to win the first North American tournament for Europe, and the dream's still alive.
Can it be done? I've been doing this for what, 5-6 years in Call of Duty, and I haven't seen it yet. Is it going to happen this weekend? We'll have to wait and see. So far, though, another strong showing from Splyce, especially that game number 1. They showed their hard point dominance on throwback. Game number 2, you know, pretty solid game all around in their search and destroy on breakout. And now that retaliation, just showing that S&D is definitely a strength of this squad.
It really is. Enigma6, I've got a feel for them because they're an underdog, they're a dark horse, and that's someone I always root for. However, they're going to be facing the green wall in the loser bracket, and that is no easy game by any means. But if you're an Optic fan, don't take them too lightly. We can see what they've done already in this tournament. United got put to the loser bracket. They've gone game 5 with Splyce. How this continues in the tournament, I am just excited to see.
And never forget what happened back at Vegas. For now, though, let's go back over to our friends from Splyce. We got the captain, Bance, there with the college graduate.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, Bance again at another major event, finding his way to at least a top 3. First off, congratulations to you guys. Big clutch there. I want to look back, though, at the first half of the series because you guys came out of the gates hot. What was working so well for you guys in games 1 and 2?
I feel like we just had the momentum, and we just, after the first map, it was quite close, and as soon as we clutched up, they just went into the S&D. And then uplink, I think that's their best game mode. And on Dallas, they were beating us, and I think we beat them last second on uplink. So we've always had close matches with them on uplink. So yeah.
Well, you guys went into that uplink, and again, it was close down to the wire, but I think a bunch of the casters were talking about was the recent change you guys have had in your payloads with reactive armor and now camo. You're coming more now with camo. We mentioned a little bit the camo use at the end of the game. Maybe defend yourself a little bit. Some people were roasting. You didn't get to have the camo brought out. What just wasn't working for you there with the payload?
Just feel like there wasn't a right time to use it on uplink. We tried pushing up and getting map control first before popping it. I think last second or something, last like 10 seconds, I tried popping it, but one of them FTL'd me to stop us drawing. So it was pretty much good play from them, but we just couldn't get close, and it was pointless just wasting a camo on a kill or something.
Well, you guys have made it to top 3 so far. You're waiting in that winner's bracket final for the winner of our next series here in primetime, FaZe Clan versus LG. I've got to ask you, though, because you've been on the biggest of stages. You've got that top 2 from Champs. A little bit of a different supporting cast. What are you going to tell your teammates now about the emotions? Arguably some of the most on the line in their competitive Call of Duty career. What are you going to do as one of the leaders of this team to make sure you guys, don't tilt on the main stage and don't let the energy get to you?
Just keep doing us, keep doing everything we practiced, because once you change one thing, then everything goes down the drain. So just keep playing us, just keep the morale high, because we're living on a massive morale right now. So just keep on going for it. Tomorrow, get some good rest, and then come out hot.
Well, the only European team here continues to impress. That's Bance from Splyce. For now, though, our analysts are here to break down that 5-game slugfest.
Thank you very much, Jack. Of course, Splyce, they progress through to that winner's bracket final. Guaranteed top 3. We've only ever seen Europe win 1 major in the entire history of Call of Duty esports. Merc, after that performance, do you still have confidence that Splyce can do it?
They can win it?
Yeah, win the whole thing. Win the whole thing.
That's tough. I think they can get really
I thought you were European.
Well, no, I said they could get like top 3, top 2.
Okay.
I don't know if they win it. That's tough. I mean, you could see there's still some flaws when they go down. They do lose some of those maps, and you have to be able to close out top North American teams. E6 put up a great fight in games 3 and 4. If that's a different team in a United or an Optic, who knows what happens in that Game 5, so they have to be able to close out those series early on.
Well, we'll break down the series now. Of course, it all started with that throwback hard point. It was 250 to 212 in Splyce's favor. Teep, 0 streaks. They impressed you a lot.
Well, it's so important to see how one set of streaks can really make that difference. The only other player that uses those Scorchers is actually Clay. So the fact that he times them out and uses them sporadically on that baseball specifically. Baseball, one of the most difficult hills to break. So when you're able to have one of those streaks each time, you can see him earning those there. When you can instantly get one of those kills to break those back spawns, it allows your team to just flood in and really break that hill easy. So really 0 throughout this whole series, making huge plays just like that.
And then on the flip side, Proof,
E6,
we had General
Proto. Yeah, Proto was the one for me on E6 that matched 0 as far as amazing me with plays, making the right decision every single time. I mean, we're going to talk about the uplink, but Proto was just impressing me. I'm a big fan of Proto now after that.
Okay, fair enough. Of course, it was a close game, Merc, but unfortunately for Enigma6, they just couldn't catch Splyce.
Well, now looking at this, that hill number 1, that's a huge difference. Big. I mean, 60-point difference on hill number 1. You don't typically see that. But yeah, it just seemed like it was a great hardpoint game. I mean, Splyce, they had that early lead, they kept it, but Enigma6 was always in the game because of plays like Proto, players like General, and that just allowed them to always be there, and that put the pressure on 0 to use those streaks at certain times.
On that hill 1 specifically, Splyce did such a good job of getting top ticket on both sides. When you're able to get that, whether it's a Scarab, a player, those guys get in there so quickly, and you don't really have that good line of sight, so you're forced on the other side of E6 to go sidewalk in just uncomfortable positions, and they got so much easy time.
And another big play I wanted to say for 0, he actually stopped General off the streaks. I think if General would have got that kill on 0, he could work his way up to get full streaks as well and help his team kind of contest more. But yeah, 0 made the play on him as well as his entire series, so good job to 0.
Splyce go 1-0 up. Then we go over to the Search and Destroy, and it seemed like Splyce had just continued that momentum. They steamroll through. It was a 6-2 victory, and Proof, it was the duo of Zero and Bance which impressed you the most.
Yeah, I mean, those two kind of stayed neck and neck that entire Search and Destroy. I mean, at one point they were 4-1 together, and then they finished off 1-10-4 and 1-9-4. So, I mean, those guys were working very well together, clutching every 2v2 they were put in, as well as Bance getting multiple first bloods in the middle of Breakout. So they were playing very well together.
And of course, when we talk about Breakout, Search and Destroy team, it's all about that mid-map pressure.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are still uncomfortable on this map. If you need to take a note and learn how to play it, you got to get that middle map control first. To give you those 4 alleyways, the 4 options, you can go Spiral, loading to A, back to your spawn through Commissary, or just go through Showers. And there's so many ways to do it once you get middle. If you just isolate yourself to either side of that map, you have 2 options. You go forward or you go backward. There's not much you can really do there.
Yeah, I mean, just Splyce, just their Search and Destroy, their teamwork, it's on point. You can see in any sort of 3v2 or 2v2 situation, throughout the series, they were able to clutch up, and that just deals with their communication.
Well, there you see 6-2, that gives Splyce the 2-0 lead. And then this is where it got scary for so many Europeans watching at home. We go over to the uplink, and we kind of said before the series started, this was going to be the map that you wouldn't want to miss. We knew this was going to be a good one, and it didn't disappoint. It goes all the way to the very end, 10-8, an Enigma6 win. And Proof, I know you want to talk about that man, Proto. Just a goat.
My God, like you talk about people that go on streaks with kills. He went on a 3-point uplink scoring streak. Like he goes and gets a 1 by himself, gets the ball again in his hand, beats someone down, overdrives, hit the wall run, speed boosting off the walls, and gets the dunk. So a 3-point swing right there just by Proto by himself. So my man, he's making miracle plays out here.
The melees, man. There's only a few players that I've seen do that so consistently.
Rambo and Killer, too, for me.
Yeah, exactly. Proto. And especially this top throw at construction right here, players need to learn this. The fact that you got to practice it, go to the right just a tad. The fact he's able to do it, and then use this play right here with the overdrive.
Yeah.
Gets this dunk, and hello, buddy. Bang, you're dead. Plays like that. I love it.
And at this point, Splyce, it was 6-6 at that, but right before that moment. And Splyce has full control of their base. E6, they have some clutch sort of gunfights to make those stops. But if Proto doesn't make that play, Splyce have full map control. He just did it by himself. Literally, he was just getting those drones, winning those gunfights.
And it was another fantastic performance from Zero as well. 34 kills. He started off 11-2, but ironically down 4-0. I mean, this man impressed you as well, Proof.
I mean, at one point I asked you if I can just get a Sharpie and write 0 on the paper and hold it up to the stream when you asked me about this. But he was going off all series. I mean, a 1.5 KD, 34 kills. He's just doing his thing right now. I'm proud of him.
Playing very, very well, that is for sure. And this was really the start of a little bit of a momentum change within the series. We head over to map number 4. It was a hardpoint breakout, 250-234. This one extremely close. It does go Enigma6's way, however. And again, it's the same conversation as map number 3, Teep. Proto having a fantastic game.
This map was somewhat similar to that first hardpoint where Zero taking over, he's able to get those streaks. The one difference, though, it's harder to make those streaks worthwhile, especially on this cave hill. You saw the big difference maker, E6, when he calls those streaks, able to hold strong at cave. Splyce doesn't focus on those spawns for next to Commissary.
Right.
And, you know, I don't want to say it was necessarily bad streak usage. He did get a few kills with them, but if you don't get spawns, that's the most important.
And obviously, you see how close this game truly was. But, Merc, it was those key gunfights on rotation towards the end, which kind of gave you 60 advantage.
Yeah, we saw it last on that cell block hill. Proto picking up 2-3 kills in the back hill, allowing his teams to sort of get those spawns. And then again on cave, he picks up 1 and 2 kills, earns that camo, and then they get those streaks. They make the smart rotation after cave to go to Commissary, and those are the big gunfights because they lose those, they spawn out, and then they potentially lose that game, but they trusted themselves.
And what was interesting, we've given Zero a lot of love, Proof. We had that conversation when we were talking about Team Envious and John and how he went from a 4-4 to a 5-5. Zero plays on a 3-3 and is still putting up numbers like that.
I have no idea how he does it. I mean, he just literally lines them up and knocks them down. He's an amazing Slayer. I'm a fan of him.
I'm a big
fan.
I think we're all could be wearing Zero t-shirts, that's for sure. He's having a fantastic series, a fantastic event, I should say. But moving forward, we go to that game 5. It looks like a potential reverse sweep was on the cards. And then Splyce, they shut down any hopes for Enigma6. 6-4 victory. I think the big story this time was it was Emery's that really stepped up to the plate.
Oh, just so confident for them overall. The fact that he's challenging gunfights across map like this, whether he's losing them or not, I just like that mentality overall. Starts off the game hot early for them. The biggest thing, though, we need to note on, I was going to, give Bance and Jerd some slack earlier on in this game for not performing in those 3 and 4 respawns. You need your power players to perform. E6 didn't get that in this last map. The payloads come in late in this one. If you don't get that camo or reactive, the game's going to get away from you. It's exactly what happened.
That's the difference maker, because, I mean, it goes about 4-4, and then Splyce pick up that 9th round and make it 5-4, and at that point, they know they can close it out. They have camo and reactive. Proto in general on the other side, they don't have it, and those are your two big star players. You have to be able to pick up those payloads because you saw when that game ended, Splyce knew exactly what they were doing. They get that information, they group up, they use camo to get an intro, they use reactive to close it out.
And I want to jump back on board with Ruiz. Now, I hear that he might be done after this event, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. Do you think he is playing better because there's less pressure on him knowing that he won't be returning, or what do you think is going through his head right now as a player?
I mean, nobody knows if it's true, but if that is a thing, he's playing great. I mean, maybe the pressure is off. He's just like, you know what? I don't really have to worry about how I do this event. I'm gonna play.
I can't get dropped. I can't get dropped. I'm gonna get
right?
loose.
Yeah, I'm gonna get loose. You know, I'm gonna enjoy my last event, and this is what we talked about. We talked about Proto in general, but if someone else can step up, Ruiz or Cade, this team turns dangerous. Online, this team wins 2Ks. They win multiple tournaments online because they're comfortable. So if Ruiz is comfortable, this is what this team can do. They're very deadly. Can't underestimate them at all.
Moving forward in this one, the one that does scare me a bit on the side of Splyce, Jerd didn't really have the greatest of respawns, and that cannot happen if they're going to try and win this tournament. You have to give him props, though. That map number 5 going 12-5. He finally won that battle, that head-to-head versus Proto, that Proto was really taking advantage of in that map 3 and 4. So for Jerd to bounce back, the first blood king, it seems, for Splyce in those search and destroys, it's working out well for them.
Well, with Splyce now in the winners bracket final, they await the victor of the FaZe LG game. However, on the flip side, for Enigma6, that means they're going to fall down to the losers bracket, where they're actually going to go up against Optic Gaming. We saw that matchup twice within the groups. Merc, is this a safe one for Optic, or maybe should the green wall be a little worried?
No, I mean, if you watched, you know, week 4, you saw the hard points. Both were extremely close. Search and destroys, they had some close maps. Uplink, Optic lose that, one of them to them. So, you know, E6, they can compete, and we've seen them this weekend. They were very close to being top 3 at Stage 1 playoffs. So definitely not an easy one for Optic.
Excited for that. Of course, that's going to be a little bit later on in the day. For now, though, we should do a little bit of our score streak segment. You're always on the desk for this, Merc.
Let's get it.
I know you love it. Of course, the score streak game exclusive to MLG.TV/COD. Throughout that series, in map number 1, we asked, will any player finish with over 1 minute 45 second hold time? I mean, I feel like it's guaranteed, yeah, right?
Yeah.
You have
especially with Jerd, you know?
Yeah, you have to. 69% said yes, Jerd. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Ironically, 2 minutes and 1 second. 31% of you said no. Well, that was, I feel like every one of you would have said A, right?
Yeah. I mean, throwback. I mean, it's not really like one like breakout retaliation. If you're like an MV4 player, you just sort of sit and just sort of jump up and down and just throwback's a little bit different.
All right.
I'm an OBJ guy. I say
you say yeah all day. All day.
I think he got most of that time off first hill.
Yeah.
That's probably ironically looking at those stats.
Like a test hill, he got the most time off.
In map 2, we asked, will game 2 go past the 9th round? 66% said yes, and 34% said no. So the minority wins that one. Splyce versus E6 Search and Destroy, Joe, would you agree with that?
I would have said no, yeah.
You would have said no?
I would have said no also.
I think I would have went with yes.
You would have gone with yes? All right, why would you have said yes no?
Just because I felt like both their search games were not too bad. They were strong. They play as a team together. The playstyle is kind of weird. E6's playstyle is kind of weird. They don't know how each other play. Like I said, in the NA teams, when you look at E6, no one really knows how they play. And then you have the European team coming over to NA. We don't really know how their playstyles are. So I figured the search will go neck and neck, just trading rounds.
Makes sense. We'll see what we asked in map number 3. Of course, that was the uplink. We asked, how many points will E6 score in the first half of game 3? 66% said less than 5, 34% 5 or more. I feel like E6 is a great uplink team, right? That's a good bet.
I would expect it from both teams, honestly, yeah. That's a good call.
I feel like you definitely could have gone with 5 or more, but we'll see in terms of our leaderboard, who is currently on the top, who's on the current highest streak. I believe yesterday it was 7, if I'm not mistaken. Has anyone managed to beat that? We'll find out right now. High streak is 9.
Again. Wasn't he the one that had the high streak last time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, he's hot right now.
Yeah, he was.
Kind of hot, kind of not.
He was. He's on that streak. 9 or Futch and Shush. That's what we're gonna go with.
Futch and such.
Oh, you just made me seem silly. Futch and such.
I got you.
That's
I like that name though.
I mean, it's not as bad a name than calling Pristini Panini. So.
Probably hungry.
9 streak.
Thinking about the food trucks.
What's been the highest we've seen so far throughout all the groups?
We saw double digits.
I think it was 11.
11
or 11.
11.
Yeah.
11 is one of the highest.
I would never get 11.
Very, very impressive streak.
An intelligent
overall
person out there.
Very intelligent.
Or lucky.
Or is rigged. Would that be you, Merc? I feel like you could go on a streak.
Probably not.
No, you couldn't?
I'd probably lose a lot.
Pat would say you could beat it.
Yeah.
That's probably Pat Smurf in the back, just going on score street trying to get his prediction.
Should have waited till tomorrow to bring out the sheet like, I'm him. I'm budget.
Right, he's going to come in and just prove it. He's like, yeah, look at me logged in. Potentially could be. Of course, we'll take a quick moment to talk a little bit about MLG Anaheim, a staple of Call of Duty esports. Cannot wait to go over to the Anaheim Convention Center June 16th to 18th. It's rapidly approaching, and there is going to be $200,000 on the line. So plenty of money to be played. But of course, before Anaheim, we have to finish our Stage 1 playoffs. We're now at the halfway point of Day 2 of the Stage 1 playoffs. And after that last result, Europe's best Splyce has progressed through to the winners bracket final. For E6, they drop down into the losers bracket to have the group play rematch against Optic Gaming later today. Up next, we find out who will be joining Splyce in the winners bracket final. Will it be FaZe Clan or will it be Luminosity? Find out after this.